How are you? How are you? I haven't done a coffee chit chat in a long time, but it is Sunday afternoon, about 4 p.m., which is, right? Yep, about 4 p.m., 4:25 to be exact. It's Super Bowl Sunday. I'm not in the market for coffee right now, but I am for wine. Imagine that. Imagine that. I am in the market for wine. And I am making a baked brie, my apricot baked brie. So the wine that I chilled is a late harvest Riesling, and it goes perfectly with baked brie. And I actually am going with baguettes. I'm going to toast them in the oven. Just can't wait. So we are going to chit chat. If you're watching this video in the morning and you have nothing going, since it's going to be it's Friday night when you or Friday when you watch this. I haven't even had the wine and I'm already tongue twisted here. Since this video publishes on Friday, not on Super Bowl Sunday, you may just want to wait, and maybe if you don't have plans this evening, you can have some wine and hang out with me for a bit. So let's get the wine open and let's get chit-chatting about how we're doing. How we're doing. Yes. Yes, let's talk. Let me go put this on ice because I don't want it to get warm. If I need more, we'll go get more. Do you just feel like you are constantly tested? Constantly tested. I wasn't planning on talking about this. Well, wait a minute. Cheers. Cheers to us. Cheers. I wasn't going to talk about being tested, but I took the wine upstairs and I had typed up just little things that I want to talk about here when we chill with some wine. And I went to get it off the printer. Printer's not working. This has been happening a lot this week. So it's now been 10 minutes. It's just nonstop. And I know you can relate. Let me know in the comment section if you can relate to constantly being tested. I don't remember. Well, a couple things have come up for me with being tested. One is I don't remember being as aware as of the test when I was younger. And I don't mean like a child. I mean as an adult. When I was a stay-at-home mom of 5, I don't remember being tested like I am as a business owner, as a 2-time business owner. So I always wonder if it's more that because you're just dealing with so many more moving parts. But sometimes I think life was just as hard then with the busyness and everything on my plate, but it was just different. But I don't remember being tested. But it also makes me wonder if the more self-growth and personal development that you dive into, you're more aware. Because when you grow as a person, when you become a better version of you, you are practicing an awareness that you didn't once have. And you're aware of everything in your world. And so I believe that that awareness also shows the disadvantages, right? The test more. It's how we handle ourselves in those tests. And I can speak from experience of being tested that I do handle myself well, much better than I would have years ago. So if I'm going to be tested, probably better today versus back in the day when I wouldn't have handled myself so well. So there's some food for thought. So I just want to talk a little bit about what's going on in my life. We're about, 6 weeks in to the new year, and I can't say that my new year went off with a bang. I've really been tested. I've been off feeling. I don't have my footings, and a transition is taking place in my life right now that was unexpected. And I adapt. I'm a resilient person and I adapt. But I will share with you that now that we're 6 weeks in and I'm getting to a better place because I've put the work in, it's been a real reminder to me that everything is in God's timing. And I know that that's not something I've questioned. He's shown me many times in my life that it's all in His divine timing, but it's been a long time since I have had to really come to terms with that. Come to terms with that. It is in His timing. So again, I see opportunity in everything, and I believe that He puts us in a place to remind us of that. And for some reason, God knew that I needed to be reminded that everything takes place in His timing. So it's been powerful, and I'm so thankful that I am so convicted in my faith and that I have such an intimate relationship with the Lord because I've really leaned on Him. I always lean on Him, but I've leaned on Him more since the beginning of the year. And I'll share the unexpected that showed up in my life is not a negative. It's just not something I expected at this time, and it threw me off. So there's still a lot of greatness and positive, and I know there's a lot of greatness to come. It was very unexpected for this transition to take place. And what a reminder that God chooses His divine timing for our lives. So I do want to share that with you, which kind of segues me into my daily word. You know, I read my daily devotional every single morning, and many of you have gotten a subscription to this. I'll have a link in the description box. It's not an affiliate link. I don't have any connection with Daily Word. I've been reading this for a few years. I absolutely love it. And I really think about every single sentence that I read. My March and April booklet arrived, and then every year during Lent, they have a Lenten booklet. And what's shared in this book is quite lengthier, so I do spend more time in the Word during the season of Lent. And as you know, Lent began 2 days ago on Valentine's Day, February 14th. So when I'm filming this, I have not dove into this booklet yet. Although I did read this morning, I did read just the little first page here from the headquarters, I guess it is, that releases these. So I did read that, and I may share that with you because some powerful nuggets there. But by the time this video publishes, I will have started to read this. And I'm not someone who really goes in deep in giving up something significant like chocolate or sweets. People give up different things for Lent. I've never been one to give up something of that nature. I try to give up more like maybe if I had a habit of complaining, a habit of complaint, or a habit that's not serving me, something that's not serving me, but not like physical. That's usually something that I will work on. But for this Lent, I actually did make some changes or for the Lenten season. One is I am only taking 2 celebratory meals the entire Lenten season, and that is because tomorrow Paul and I are actually celebrating Valentine's Day, and I'll talk more about how that came to fruition. So I know that I am going to be having some wine and some yummy food tomorrow. We have dinner reservation at a beautiful establishment in Detroit. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that was pre-planned, and I definitely know that I want to celebrate. And then we are hosting February and March birthdays on Sunday, March 3rd. We're celebrating Bobby's birthday, McKenna's birthday, Chloe's boyfriend Jack's birthday, and Kaylee's birthday. We would celebrate my daughter Haley's birthday because her birthday is in March, but she will not be home. She will be where she lives, which is in Boston. And actually, I believe she'll be on a ski trip. I think she'll be in France. Now that I think of it, Haley will be in France, I believe, on a ski trip. No stopping that girl. I'm glad that she's living her life the way she is, because someday she'll probably slow down. She'll probably get married someday and have a family, and she will slow down. So I am doing that. The other thing that I did for Lent is, I talk about my daily documents, my personal daily documents, which next Saturday I have a workshop where I go over my daily documents and I help you create your daily documents, the rich life, the mastery life, so that you can, well, look at those blind spots and those triggers and those tests and be able to adapt and overcome and be resilient to them. Well, I had 5 documents because I typically exercise or do my workout 5 days per week. It's been sometimes 6, it just depends, but 5 has been the average. That's the other thing for Lent, is a 6th workout, even if it's a cardio. So 2 celebratory meals all throughout Lent, tomorrow and on Sunday, March 3rd, keeping it clean and on the plan all the other days, which will be hard for me because I really enjoy my celebrations, my celebratory meals. 1 extra cardio or workout. So instead of 5, I will do 6 during Lent. And I added a 6th document. So I had 5 documents for each day that I'm on my ARC trainer doing my morning admin work. I added a 6th one, but I highly encourage, if you want to step in your power and create this self-exercise for yourself that has helped me so much. Why I am staying the course, even though I've had a lot of darkness, guys. I've just had some really dark days in January. I just really have. Geez, I haven't had enough wine to be getting emotional, but my word, my relationship with the Lord, and having my daily documents that center me to my core has really helped me to get through. And I believe that we need that self-work, those little reminders, those personal messages, because life will happen and we can so easily get thrown off, and so many resort to what doesn't serve them. And I'm not going to say that I haven't. It's been years since I have emotionally eaten and drank. Years. I corrected that about 16 years ago, tying my emotions to food and beverage. Well, I never really was tied to beverage, but I worked hard between, I would say, 12 and 16 years ago to correct that. And wow, I just had a complete relapse last month, and I celebrated way too much. I had way too many drinks, and it's okay. It's okay. I don't have regret. I don't ruminate on it. But I said, what is the opportunity here? This isn't me. Tracy, you do hard things and you will get through this. And I'm back in the saddle, cleaned up my act. I'm in a much better place. Still the tests are there. I'm still transitioning and the struggle is there, but I know better than to tie my emotions to food and beverage. I'm tying my emotions to the daily word, to sitting in solitude, because solitude is so important to me, to taking the downtime when I need it, and staying so firm and convicted in showing up in the lives of others in a way that I will be happy with. And that's my daily document, because I have to answer to that all the time. Was I happy with how I showed up in the lives of others yesterday, regardless of what test I was faced with? Cheers to that. Such a good wine, and I cannot get into the baked brie soon enough. So yes, if you are interested in taking the workshop, jump on board. There will be a link in the description box below. There's also a little short video where I talk more in depth about what you can expect and take away from the workshop. So Live a Mastery Life Self-Assessment Workshop. Yes. Did you guys know that I added to my home gym? Yes. For a couple of years, I've been wanting to get a leg extension machine. And one of my goals for Q1, if you took the goals workshop, which you can still take, the goals for Q1, I talked about one of my goals in Q1 was to pull the trigger and buy myself a leg extension machine. And that is because I do work my quads. I work my legs every single day. But ever since stepping away from working out in a gym setting, I just cannot get my quad muscles built the way that I desire. Hamstrings, no problem. But I really struggle with the quads. So it was time, and I'm thrilled, and I'm sure by the time this video publishes, I've tried it out. I did share it on stories on Sunday, so check my Instagram stories Sunday highlight where I showed Paul putting it together. I will have a link in the description box below, but I'm sure I've tried it out. But basically, he put it together today, which is Super Bowl Sunday. Why do I say Super Bowl Sunday like it's a holiday? But it kind of is, and we're so bummed that the Detroit Lions aren't playing. Another thing. So excited! My dance lessons. You may recall last year, Q1 of 2023, Paul and I took dance lessons, and we took them for the entire quarter, and I loved it. Paul, not so much, but I believe it was more the time. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. Well, we still have 3 lessons on our package, and believe it or not, I still practice all my dance moves that I learned so far every morning, every day. Well, all days that I work out. So 5 to 6 days per week, I practice my dance. And I talk to the owner. What do you think we should do moving forward? And he proposed that because I would be more advanced than Paul, I could finish up my lessons by working just with a teacher. So the teacher would be my partner, and then we will decide where I go from there. So I don't know if I will buy another package because it's hard for me to see an ROI because it's not cheap. With Paul not learning dance with me, because the goal would be that when we go someplace like a wedding reception, we can dance the waltz together. We can dance some of these dances together. So what would the point be of me knowing how to do these dances? So I'm bummed, but that's where couples have to come together and they have to decide if it serves the relationship, if it serves the two of them. And if he's just not in it to win it and I am, then we have to adjust course. But I am someone who's loyal. I make sure that I maximize any sessions that I do when I work with a coach. I make sure I take advantage of all of my lessons and sessions. So I want to follow through, complete my package, and make a plan from there. But will I be disappointed? I will. I will be let down, but because we'll see what Paul says. He is going to the lessons with me. He just won't be practicing. And if he did decide, let's take another crack at it, then we would probably have to pay the money where our dance lessons are at the same time, but he would have his instructor, I would have mine, so that that teacher could get him up to where I'm at. So I would have to be careful not to advance. Let's get him caught up. So we'll see, and I will definitely keep you posted. How are you doing on the wine or coffee? Whatever you're having. Speaking of wine, a couple of weeks ago, probably about 2 weeks ago, it'd be 2 weeks from yesterday, Amy and I, you know, my friend Amy, Counselor Amy, as many of you know her, we had a little wine night on Zoom. Actually, Paul and I were babysitting Mac, and Amy and I had a little call set up on Zoom, and we had wine, so it was really nice to catch up with her. I don't know when I'll see her next because I don't know when she'll make it to Michigan next, and I certainly want to go to Texas and see her. I just don't know that it will work this year. We are pretty capped out for vacations for 2023. We have a big one coming in June. That's a big expense and a lot of time. And we have Pip's graduating high school this year, so we will have a graduation celebration cookout for family. We don't do the big open house, but we will have a special party for her, I think like maybe the second week of August, so there will be that expense. Just some other things on our radar that, you know, kind of pulls at the pocketbook. So I don't know that there will be any traveling after June. So we may just call it for the year, but we're really excited about that trip, and can't wait. I'm excited to share that I am re-credentialed as a certified professional coach. My credentialing, so you hold your credentials for 3 years, and then you have to take continuing education units. It's called CCEU, Coaching Continuing Education Units. You have to get so many hours in a 3-year period, and it's broken down between coaching ethics, core competency, professional development, and there's another one, I think. And so you have to make sure when you take the webinars that you're getting your hours in the right area. I'm sure many of you who are credentialed or licensed know what I'm talking about. The big thing for me is I'm already a member of ICF, the International Coaching Federation, and I'm also a member of the Michigan chapter. So it doesn't cost me anything above my annual fee to be a member. I have access to all of these webinars as part of that tier. But the goal is that at the end, I'm not stuck with all these hours that I have to get, and then you have to go away for like a weekend or a full day. I hear of people doing that all the time. I have clients that they'll have to go for like a whole day to like a university because they don't have their hours in. So I'm really good about it. I stay on top of it. I actually had a class yesterday, and I have 2 more this month, and I have 3 in March. So I really do a good job staying on top of it. And I like to be able to pick the topics that really serve me. And when you stay on top of it, you can have that happen. So I am re-credentialed for another 3 years. So happy to have that done and continue to just provide what I do, my coaching services, and help others live the life that they desire and be the best version of themselves. 3-week intense. Big news, big news. Ah! I love it. So 3-week intense for Q2 is coming up. April 8th we start. Well, I've changed things. This is a complete overhaul. Well, I wouldn't say complete, but all of the documents are changed. The 3 pillars of exercise, they've changed. I removed one pillar and I replaced it with something else. I also have a special plan for anyone who joins 3-week intense from a sedentary place. If you have literally not done anything in years, you've been completely sedentary, I have a certain plan just for those members. You have to bear in mind the largest age group of members that join 3-week intense, although it's all ages from as young as 20 all the way up to 70, I would say 50s and 60s is a big chunk of the members. So never feel intimidated. This program is for everyone wherever you are today. It's so great. So many major connections take place and we're all in this together. We're all struggling together. We're all being tested together. So it's so great, but there's so many changes. Also, the information video, the link, the information video is now broken down into more specific topics. So if you're curious about something to do with zone 2 cardio, you can go just to the zone 2 cardio video and rewatch that. So love it. Cannot wait. Please take advantage of 3-week intense if it's been on your radar. You read the testimonials. I'll have a link in the description box where you can get to the 3-week intense course page and read the testimonials. It's such a wonderful program. Okay, I wanted to share with you the gift that we got for Christmas. Unfortunately, this little note card that I think McKenna put together, I spilt some water on it, but I love how she created this little card. And so we got this for Christmas. Paul and I knew nothing about it. And let me just share, right before Christmas or sometime in November, I released a video, my 10 favorite gifts ever of all time. And one of them was experiences and like a night out. Because Paul and I, if we need something, we buy it. And our girls have pooled together and gifted us these nights in the past, and we love it. It's our favorite gift. And I talked about it in that video, so I'll have that video linked. But so we had no idea. We never know where we're going. But what I love is they select the date, and basically they told us that from now on, it will always be, because they know I make my calendar out for coaching a whole quarter in advance. So they know, what if mom is working that Saturday? So they just said every year, block off the Saturday closest to Valentine's Day. And Valentine's Day fell midweek this year, so they chose the Saturday after because the Saturday before was right before the Super Bowl. So we opened up this card. Save the date for your annual night out. Mom and Dad, Merry Christmas. We are so excited to plan another night for you two. You both deserve it. Please find the details of your night on the back of this card. Love, Kirsten, Tim, Haley, Vin, McKenna, Bobby, Chloe, and Jack. And on the back is the itinerary. So it has the date, February 17th to February 18th. The location is Detroit. The stay is a hotel that's been on our bucket list. So it has the hotel, the check-in time, and then dinner. And where our dinner is in Detroit and our reservation time. So another place, bucket list. I believe this may be a newer establishment. So wine can fix it all, Tracy. Wine can fix everything right now. Who can relate, ladies? That was a gulp. Yeah, I needed that. I needed that. So super excited. So Paul and I will, tomorrow, when you watch this, head to Detroit, and we love Detroit. So yeah, we're really excited. I'll let you know how it goes. Maybe I'll be on story, so be sure you're watching me on Instagram stories tomorrow to see what's going on or what I share. And then just a nice low-key night, so really happy about that. Well, I think that wraps things up. I could spend a lot longer here with you guys, and I'm just curious how your year is going. And I just know that if you're struggling in an area, you're not alone. You're not alone. And you can be grateful in everything. And that's just another thing on my document, is to be grateful in everything and find opportunity. Again, I struggled for a bit, and I just had to say, Trace, this isn't like you. You do hard things. You find opportunity in everything. Find it. Don't fall into unhealthy patterns, unhealthy thinking, the negative inner voice. When you're down, when you're in a dark place, that negative inner voice that tells you you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not lovable, it just emerges so much more. And it's such an awful place, and it just keeps you feeling more and more discouraged, hopeless. And you have to build up, that muscle, that resilience muscle, to not fall prey to the inner voice. You have to attack it. And when you have something in front of you every single day, setting the record straight, empowering you to push through, telling you that you can do hard things. I actually have a couple of a comment I want to read too before I leave you, that came through today. So today is Sunday, on YouTube. But you do hard things, and everyone does. Don't ever believe, yeah, but you do hard things, but I don't. That's your negative voice talking to you. And we're going to talk about how that negative voice is no longer going to show up. Well, it will. It will show up. But because you have your personal messages, you will push through that. You'll say, no, not today. Today I am lovable. I'm always lovable. I'm always good enough, right? A lot of this we carry from our adolescence. No one comes out of the womb. Think about it this way. When you see a baby, what do you think? Oh, amazing. They're just amazing, right? Where does that go, though? A baby is amazing. A baby has no idea, no thought process that they're not amazing. Somewhere along the line, life happens, and we no longer see ourselves as amazing. And a lot of that takes place as the adolescence years come along, and then the tween and teen years. That's where this world builds in this negative inner talk of I'm not good enough, right? Whatever that may be. Go back to I'm amazing. Think of yourself as a baby. You're an amazing human being. Could you imagine someone holding you when you're a baby and telling you you're not amazing? No. You have to see yourself as amazing. So I'm going to read this. Let go, let God. Lent is often observed by giving up something we might enjoy but don't really need. Some people let go of smoking or chocolate. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore suggested we release negative thinking during Lent. Yeah, release it. He believed the best preparation for Easter would be to clear and renew our minds with the awareness of our own divinity and inner power. The daily messages in this year's Lenten booklet are about the aspects of our humanity that we might want to let go in order to remove blocks to our good, worry, fear, pessimism, or judgment. The unattractive qualities we know are in our way. And I tell you, that little head, that negative gremlin heated his little head up with all of those: worry, fear, pessimism, and judgment. just to trip me up. Don't be tripped up. Our hope is that you will take these weeks of Lent to release anything standing in the way of your joy and happiness so that you may experience a glorious transformation on Easter. It's so powerful. It's so much about how we see things, how we see the world, how we see ourselves, and we have to release that. And I encourage you to join me next Saturday as we dive deeper into how you can put the tools in your toolbox so that you can release yourself from what's holding you back and holding you down, right? Yeah. Okay, let me find my computer, and I wanted to leave you with just a comment that came through and my reply to it. So hold on, wait, let's get a sip. Yummy. Okay, this comment came in on a video, which I'll have linked, staying on the plan, how I eat 97% of the time. I will have that video linked. And hey, don't forget, earlier this week I shared what I eat in a day. Make sure you check out that video. It's really good. The person writes, you are very disciplined, and that is not everyone's strength, unfortunately. However, everyone can improve their lives and change their habits. Love that. Thank you very much for creating and sharing inspirational content that we all can benefit from. God bless. I replied, thank you for the lovely message and wishing God's blessing on me. I hope the same for you. We are all disciplined. Yes, we are all disciplined. I have no superpower over you or anyone else. You, every one of you watching, is disciplined. Yes, say this to yourself. I am disciplined. It's not a superpower or strength some are blessed with while others are not. That's judgment. You're judging it that way, which means you're judging yourself, right? She's judging herself. You're disciplined. I'm not. We're going to judge. So I'm not good enough, right? It's a matter of where one is disciplined. Does where you are disciplined serve you or not? Okay. Anyone can improve their lives by being disciplined in the area that serves them best. It's so important to know that. If there is something in your life that you're engaging in, whether it's eating poorly, maybe drinking too much alcohol, scrolling, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of it. You have to be the judge of that, right? Whatever, you know what wouldn't be serving you. Not me. I have no idea. All I know is what doesn't serve Tracy. The key is saying, am I disciplined in anything that's not serving me? I see people that are disciplined all the time in scrolling their phone. That is a discipline. They're very disciplined in that. It's just, is that discipline serving you? If you use a snooze, you're disciplined in using a snooze button, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. No judgment. You decide, is the snooze button serving me or is it not? If that's just your way of waking up and you're still getting up when you desire, don't worry about it. And don't worry about anyone else. Don't worry about if anyone else seems disciplined in an area. It's counterproductive for you. Where am I disciplined? This is we literally could talk about this in the workshop next week. Bring it up if you'd like. Where am I disciplined? Is that discipline serving me? If it's not serving me, what systems do I need to set up? What messages do I need to tell myself to remind me that that doesn't serve me over here? I much rather be disciplined over here. So no one has a superpower. I am only disciplined in areas I'm disciplined in, just like you're disciplined in areas that you are. Maybe when you get home, You clean your car out. Nothing is left in your car. That's a discipline. Does it serve you? I don't know. It would serve me for sure. I'm also disciplined in that way. My husband, he's disciplined and not. And I can't be the judge of whether that serves him or not. If I had my own car and he drove my car and he didn't clean up his stuff, now I'm going to have a conversation, right? A conversation with him and communicate that it's important to me that he respects my boundaries, which is cleaning up his stuff out of my car, right? So remove the judgment in looking at everyone else. You look at you. That's where the awareness comes from. If we go back to the beginning of this video, when I talked about how I don't remember being tested so much, it's because I'm more aware. I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware of Tracy. That's why Tracy had a lot of blunders. That's why Tracy didn't always show up in a way she was proud of in her earlier years. She simply just wasn't practicing awareness. Once she started becoming aware, I actually got very hypersensitive to things that I would do because I was working at it. And now I just had a little error again, or a mishap, or inconvenience someone. A lot of people avoid doing the work because it's easier to avoid doing the work because you don't have to feel like a failure, right? You don't have to feel like a failure if you're not doing the work. So it's easier not to do the work. But when we become aware of ourselves, of our lives, yes, we are more aware of everything around us. That's why I talk, and I've talked in videos, how some people no longer serve you. Why is it that they once did and now you have no patience for them? Well, if you're working on yourself and you're growing as an individual, you find out that, yeah, not everyone fits the bill anymore. And that's okay. Because maybe you've leveled up to where that relationship won't serve your leveled up place. And that doesn't mean that they're less than. You get to determine where you're at, right? So powerful. Work with me one-on-one in coaching. We'll really dissect this. We'll unpack this puppy like you wouldn't believe. Yes. Okay, that needs to be a wrap because it is like an hour later after the little mishap, and I am ready, and I don't like to eat too late or drink wine too late. I do intend on possibly polishing off the bottle of wine, no shame. I do have a 3 a.m. wake up waiting for me tomorrow, the day after Super Bowl. I won't be staying up for Super Bowl, but no, look at this. Yes. You see that? 3 a.m. So I need to get eating. I need to get drinking. No shame. I need to get eating, I need to get drinking, and I need to get my butt to bed. May pass out. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I love hanging out with the most beautiful people. You, because you are amazing. You are awesome. I am so blessed to have people like you in my life. Yeah, thank you. Mwah. All right. Cheers. All right, let's do it.